sunshine, rocking the good time with all our friends. Easy and carefree, out in the summer breeze, loving a simple things for hours on end. Right about sundown, we lay on the ground, count on the stars as they come out one at a time. Ain't this a sweet life?
Hey everybody, I'm X Factor winner Tate Stevens, and welcome to the Sweet Life Podcast, where we talk about everything from music, sports, food, entertainment, and, well, just living the sweet life. Here we are. It's the first, today, February 1, man.
2-1.
Golly.
Yeah.
Where's it going? It's already flying by. All right. Well, let's talk about some stuff here then. All right, we can do that. Anyway, hey guys, me, Tate Stevens, along with AJ Kronk, as always.
Almost forgot.
There it is. The tangerine, whatever the hell that is.
Ultra Sunrise.
Ultra
Monster.
Sunrise.
Like orange.
Orange drink. Anyway, we got some things we're going to talk about today. Just kind of another mixed bag of...
Mixed bag of taters.
Mixed bag of taters, kind of, yeah.
Volume 2.
Volume 2. So, tax season sucks, right? Because everybody's like, oh my God, how much am I going to owe? That talking to my son and, telling him, hey, you're getting all these W-2s and all this stuff's coming in and, you need to make sure you're ready to file and blah, blah, blah. And my wife's helping him through that. My daughter, she's just a mess. And, because she has her own business. And, and it's like, and being 20 years old.
Yep.
And she doesn't know. They just don't know what they don't know, if that makes any sense,
Sure.
right? So we've all been doing our taxes for decades.
Yeah.
We're out there for 100 years doing taxes, so we kind of know the drill. But, this is their first go at it, you know, first time having a job where they've really filed taxes of any kind, so they're learning. It's kind of weird, man. Your kids grow up and you get these weird little things when your kids are getting older. You transition into, kind of a different part of your life. And, when they're born, you're like, their little protector, and then as they grow, things change. It's like, oh, they start walking.
Yep.
There's different modes of parenting, and then when they get to the junior high level, you're like, oh man, okay, they're driving. Early high school, and you're like, okay, they're driving. They're a little bit more independent. Yep. Which is kind of terrifying.
Very.
And it is, and I have friends that their kids, it doesn't matter how good your kid is or bad your kid is, as far as their behavior. You're terrified for your children. You could have the perfect kid. You're going to be terrified for them. Oh, yeah. The world is an ugly place.
Very.
And it's like around every corner, there's something waiting to get them, basically. Yep. And anyway, so you kind of go through these different chapters of your life. Yeah, it's a chapter. It's a chapter of life. Ashley and I were talking about this the other day on the way home, and I said, I've lived several different lives in my life. In my 46 years, I've had, because I did it too. I mean, from the time you're born to when you're like 5, and there's like milestones in your life, and it's kind of like a new life. From 5 to 10, you're like, oh, that's you're doing this and you're doing that. And then at 10 to 15, once you hit 15, then 16 begins a whole new chapter of your life because you're driving. Yep. You're on the go, by yourself, and so that chapter begins. And then 18, you got that short little 16 to 18. Now I can vote.
Yep.
Now I'm an adult. I'm looked at as an adult. You're not an adult.
Right.
You're not. You may think you are. You are zero adultness. You have zero adulting skills at 18. Especially, I know I did. I thought I knew what I was doing, right? I thought my folks have no idea what they're talking about. They're older, and what they did in the past is nothing like what we do, whatever.
Right.
No, they were 100% right. 100% right. Yeah. And I should have just said, hey, okay, I'll just continue. But I didn't, like everyone else does, you know, or 90% of the people, I'd say. You know, you kind of do your own thing. Then once you hit 21, you know, then it's like, okay, well, there you go. Good luck.
Life as we knew it is over.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my God, you know, and you look and so anyway, I've lived multiple lives, not just, you know, I feel like I said that like I'm a spy or something, you know. I'm like Fletch.
Fletch.
You know, I've lived multiple lives. No, I'm you know, you go through life changes and changing, you know, especially as a parent. You know, I wish someone would have said, when you become a parent, everything you think you know about parenting, you have no idea.
No, I mean, no.
I wish somebody would have sat me down and said, okay, listen, what you think you're going to teach your children, they're going to teach you a lot more than you're going to teach them. The things that they teach us are probably outweigh a lot of the things that we get to teach them along the way. Because you look at yourself like, oh my God, you know, what am I doing wrong? You know, your kids will show you kind of what you're doing wrong most of the time. Most of the time. Some of the time. Some people, you know, don't have this problem. I did. You know, I'm like, oh, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
You know, this can't be right. What I'm doing cannot be, you know, is this the best for my kid? Am I doing the best thing that I can for my children at this point?
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, like I said, Ashley and I were talking about this. I was like, we've lived, you know, several different lives, you know, in our own lives. I mean, growing up, that's one part of your life.
Yeah.
You know, and then once you get married, that's another that's another life. That's a different life than what you had in the past. You know, you have children.
Yep.
A new life.
Yep.
It's a new life. Even, you know, whether you're married or whatever, it's a new life. That's a complete different life than what you were living or what you're going to live. So anyway, with that being said, you know, tax season, I just, you know, we're getting this stuff going, and it's like, you know, here's another chapter for us. You know, we're empty nesters. That's a new life for us. You know, being empty nesters. Our kids are both out and on their own and everything, and it's like, oh my God, you know. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. And our kids seem to be doing well on their own. They, you know, they're going to stumble, they're going to fall down. You know, we'll be there hopefully to pick them up and help them out. And we you know, kind of, we're in that phase of our life where we're no more handouts to our kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've given our kids enough. We've hopefully taught them enough along the way. To figure it out on their own. And if they can't, we'll give them our opinions. But we're done saying this is what you need to do. You have to do it like this.
Yep.
You do it. This is our opinion. This is what we would do.
Yeah.
So you can do it that way or not. Up to you. Now,
my favorite thing to say to my daughter, and she hates it when I say it, but I was like, what do you think you should do? Oh, she hates it. She hates it.
Yeah. Well, just tell me. No.
It's like,
what do you feel like?
If you were to look at this logically, what would you do?
And that's, you know, what, that could help her more down the road than she will ever figure out until she's like 25 years old, looking at something like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? My dad would be like, okay, what do you think you should do?
Yeah.
Well, I think I should do this. Probably going to be the right thing to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, speaking of taxes, I was telling my daughter, it's been a few years ago, but I was telling her about like taxes. But she's like, well, what's that all about? Like, ask me about taxes. Like, well, it's what the government, it's basically your penalty for having a job.
Yeah, for working.
For making money.
For making any money for yourself and bettering your life. It's the government.
It's your punishment.
Yeah, they're punishing you. Hey, you make how much money? We're going to have some of that.
Yep.
You didn't pay enough.
Yeah. So I started like every time we go to the gas station or something, and she'd get M&Ms or something, I'd hold my hand out. It's like dad tax. It's the dad tax.
I need some of those. Yeah. So and you know what? Your daughter's 13, 14.
Oh, she'll be 15.
15
next month.
Oh, wow. Golly. See, this is gonna be a new life. In a year, you're gonna be like, oh, she's driving.
Yeah.
And you're
I let her drive my Bronco the other day.
Oh, was that amazing? Was she like, she's freaking out?
She was freaking out. It was like just through the neighborhood, so I knew nothing was gonna happen.
Right. That's funny. Like I said, we're in that phase of our, we're empty nesters now, and our kids are doing their own thing. But like I said, no more handouts for our kids.
Yeah.
Hand ups, absolutely.
Sure.
Hand ups. We'll help them. You're going to help your children until you're dead, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I am, and I know I will in some way or another. Mm-hmm. Whether it's hey, the washing machine broke and I don't get paid until Friday. Can you help me get a washing machine? Sure, I can go get you a washing machine. You can pay me back on Friday. That kind of thing.
Yeah,
we'll always be there, in that way until we're gone for our kids. And but it's just like no more handouts, man. You're going to figure it out. Mom and I had to figure it out. Mm-hmm. You can figure it out.
Yep.
You're smarter than us, remember. You can figure it out, right? and I think that's part of growing up too, is just doing. Now Hayden's a little different than Riley. Riley's more like me in that way.
Yeah.
Riley likes to have help along the way, kind of hold her hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's good with that. If you hold Riley's hand, she's perfectly okay with it. And she'll do great.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of like she doesn't want the training wheels to come off, right? You know what I mean? She's, Hayden was pretty good cutting the training wheels off himself and trying to figure it out on his own.
Yeah.
Riley's just like, I'm pretty good with this. Let's just leave one side of the training wheel on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take one off and I'll just cruise on the one side. That's kind of how she is right now. And I know she's younger than Hayden, and their mentalities are completely different.
Yeah.
She's free spirited and just, kind of there as her, it's Riley's world is Riley's world, man. It's different. Yeah. Sometimes I wish I could look at my world like that, but I can't. And Hayden's more of the driven, focused, I got to get things done. And I know I got to work towards that goal. And Riley's like, you know what? I'm working towards this goal. And if I veer a little bit, it's okay. Mm-hmm. It's okay to veer. Hayden's like, no veering. We got to get there. He's on a fast track to get there.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. It's going to work for both of them in the long run anyway. So it's just, we were talking about that, just having those different lives that we live in now, this whole new one, being empty nesters. There's been a few times where we're sitting there watching TV and looking at each other, and I'm like, wow, kind of quiet, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And you, because you realize, after people come and go and visit, you're in this house by yourself, mm-hmm. Anyway, it's kind of one of those things. And now, like I said, just these transitions, and I know when grandkids, I'm sure in the next few years, I hope. It won't be for another few years, but I'm sure in the next few years we're going to start having grandkids. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited about being a grandpa for two reasons. I'm going to spoil my grandchildren terribly. They're going to have motorcycles and four-wheelers and go-karts and guns, and it's going to be awesome. And their parents are going to hate it.
Oh yeah,
and it's all going home. You know what I mean? I'm like, a drum set, absolutely. You're 5, you need one. Here, Mom and Dad. Here's his drum set. Put it in his room. You know what I mean? Or
you're welcome.
You're welcome. And if Mom and Dad say no, you can't play him today, call me. We'll figure it out. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the grandpa. That's the grandpa I'm going to be. And it's kind of like shake them up and then send them home. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh yeah,
I can't wait. And my wife she's completely the opposite. She's going to want our grandkids here every day. You know what I mean? She's just going to want that. And I told her, I'm like, yeah, no. They can come over every day. Absolutely. And then they go home.
Yep.
Grandpa's going to spoil them and then send them on their way.
It's like shaking up a can of Dr. Pepper and handing them back.
Absolutely. Shake it up and hand it back. That's what I'm saying.
Open that up out in the car.
Yeah, make sure you open that at home. But no, so we're in that transition now.
Yeah.
And we're transitioning in this new life that we have. And kind of weird. I know what my folks went through. after my siblings and I kind of got out of the house.
Yeah.
And every parent goes through it. But I think we were ready I know we were ready for them to kind of get out and spread their wings and go, you know? I mean, as a parent, you want that for your kid. You know, I mean, some parents may not. I could be pissing people off, but the majority of people that I know, we want our kids to get out. We want our kids to go live their life on their own and do what they do. You know, you're going to fall down. We're here to help you up. It's going to happen. We're here. But get out there and do it.
Yep.
Go in your own yard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pee in your own yard, dude. No, not in mine. That's all I'm saying. You know, so, so we were ready for the kids to kind of go and do their thing. And they were ready. You know, Hayden was definitely ready. And Riley needed it, I think, for her to kind of grow up in that aspect too of, I got to do this on my own. I got to pay my own bills and do my own thing. And, you know, she's doing good. So both of them are doing good. And I, can't complain about it right now, really. On either one of them. But it's just kind of a new part of life for us. Yep. And I look at things like that. It's kind of weird, but little things like this tax thing, taxes coming up. And, Ashley was talking to Riley about, okay, you need to make sure you have all your, receipts of everything you've bought for your business and this and this and this. And, next week when you go to the tax guy, you're going to have all that stuff. They're going to want all this stuff, all that. And Ashley's going to go with her, and help her through that part of it too. Yeah. So it's just kind of funny now, I kind of, just looking back and you're like, my God, now we're in another life. Yep. This is we're starting a new life of our original life. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's like a new life. So, crazy.
Well, it's funny. You're talking about, kids and everything. It's like the smallest thing. Sometimes I'm just like, you can't figure this out? Like we'd be in the car back when I had my Jeep and we drive somewhere and, the doors automatically lock when you take off or whatever. Right. And we'd go somewhere and it'd be time for us to come to a stop and for her to get out. And she's like, can you hit the unlocker? I can't get out. It's like, just reach up to the lock, pull the thing up, And I'm thinking to myself, like, what is wrong? Does my kid just not have any common sense?
It's not.
Here's the deal. No. And this is the funny thing about that. There's been a couple times, like on the way to volleyball practice, she's like, hey, can you swing by and pick up whoever and take them out there with us? So I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll do that. And we'll get there. And the kid that we picked up, she's also like, I I don't know how to get out. I'm just thinking, oh my God, it's not my kid. It's like every kid.
Yeah. Ashley showed me a YouTube. I think it was on YouTube or something. Might have been Facebook or somewhere. There was a 17-year-old kid trying to use a rotary phone. Had no idea what to do. He was just like what in the world is going on? What's that? He picked up the thing. He's like, what is this? You know what I mean? And because he's never seen one.
Yeah.
In his whole life.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't know about that kind of thing. Here's the thing. Cell phones. I can give my great nephew.
Yep.
He's 2. Mm-hmm. I can hand him my cell phone. He knows how to turn it on.
Yep.
And if you unlock it, he knows how to go to YouTube. He'll go to YouTube and figure it out. Mm-hmm. And then he finds his shows that he likes to watch. He's 2.
Yeah.
If you would have handed me this at 2 years old, this would have been a hammer. You know what I mean? Or I'd have been like, wow, that's cool. Trying to throw it. See how far I can throw it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's 2 and he's just like on an iPad and just scrolling through, punching, and he knows icons and
it's
stuff.
A completely different time, man.
It's weird.
Well, it's funny, Preston, my cousin Preston.
Yeah.
We went to his wedding reception. We were coming back and I had to go to the gas station on the way back. And I have a video of this somewhere. But we're sitting there parked and I'm doing something and my kid's like, what is that for? I'm like, what? And I look over, it's a payphone. Like it's still, this has just been just a few years ago.
Wow.
And it's like a payphone thing, He's like, well, I know it's a phone, but what's this for? What did it? I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like I mean, why it's still there, I don't know. Because I mean, who would use a payphone now? Everybody's got a cell phone. But I was like, back in the day, that's when you're out on the road, that's the only way.
Absolutely.
Payphones.
Absolutely.
People would either get the cards or they would dial, was it 1010-220 or whatever the...
Yeah, I don't
remember those?
Yeah.
There's always commercials for the call collect or whatever. And
then your phone bill was a crazy high if you called collect. I would call collect. I'd call home collect sometimes from hotel rooms and different things. And before I had a cell phone, and even when I first got my cell phone too, you had to call collect on your cell phone, because it was a charge. It was like roaming or something. It was something different than your regular cell use. You couldn't, if I was in Texas and I called my wife, it would charge me more. The data. For data, whatever.
Well, we got, I say we, my dad, when I was a little kid, being a truck driver, always out on the road, he got an 800 number.
Oh, yeah.
That would dial the house.
Yeah.
So while in any payphone, just one, call the 800 number.
That's cool. And it worked. That's how we had to do. Cheaper that way than paying all those
I would assume it'd be
$5.
just flat rate. I would assume. Probably.
Yeah, probably flat rate. So, I mean, it's kind of funny. Like, so our children, again, they're smarter than we are, and they think. And
they think.
Yeah, they think. I know I thought I was smarter than my folks and all. Everybody does. But in a lot of ways, it's like the little things, like you say. You talk about like that kid trying to use a dial phone, a rotary dial. I had a rotary dial.
Yeah,
I had a rotary dial in my room, in my bedroom, and and we had one in the kitchen and one in the bedroom, one in my bedroom, because I had a jack for whatever reason, my bedroom was in the basement and there was a phone jack down there. So I got an old. I think I got the phone at a garage sale.
Yeah,
I'm serious. I think it was like an old, kind of looked like one of those old football phones.
Yeah,
it wasn't a football phone. It was a weird looking brown circular phone. It was weird, but that was my phone, and my folks let me put it downstairs.
Do you remember how cool you thought you were when you got your first wireless house phone?
Oh, with the antenna that you pulled out was like 6 foot long. Yeah. We had one. It was a block. It was huge. It was like that big. Had that little thing you hung it up on. And then when the phone rang, you had to pull the antenna out.
Yep.
And answer the phone.
Yep. And then they came out where they actually look like cell phones.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
Yeah. Well, they look more like a cell phone, like a small. I remember my first car phone.
My dad had the bag phone.
The bag phone. Yeah. Had one.
Yeah.
And then
weren't allowed to ever use it.
No, because they were so expensive.
It's like $10 a minute or whatever.
Something dumb. Yeah. And I remember I got one for my truck, put it in my pickup truck because I had the money to do that for some reason. And I had the little stand that held it, you know what I mean? So and I could pick it up and call my friends. What's up? They're driving around.
Just calling from a phone or calling from a car.
Truck. Yep, calling from a truck. You know what I mean? So dumb.
Yeah.
But back then it was cool.
Oh, yeah.
The kids today, obviously, they would just look at that and go, what in the world's that? It's like CDs. No one knows what a CD hardly is anymore.
Yeah.
Even a CD compact disc. I can understand they don't know what a cassette looks like or wouldn't understand a cassette, but a CD?
Yeah. Dude, I used to have my old, original, the Nokia brick cell phone, the green screen, the only game you had was Snake.
Oh.
You remember that? The original cell phone. I used to, I really wish I still had that because I'd love to be like, this was our cell phone back in the day.
Yeah, and it was like a little, a little thing.
And it had the buttons on it, so you could sit there with your, hand in your coat pocket, sit there, text people, and you wouldn't have to look at it.
Yeah, I remember, there were so many things back then that we, the kids, they have it now, with Spotify and Pandora and everything, Apple Music and all the music you can get free and all that now. You don't need CDs or cassettes or anything. But I remember I didn't have a CD player in my truck at first when I first got it. Had an 8-track player that didn't work. An 8-track player didn't work, so I took it out. And then I had a cassette player.
Yeah, cassette was my original.
And the cassette, when the cassette worked. And of course, I had a ton of cassettes. But when the CDs came out, I didn't have a CD player. Mm-hmm. So I had to take my little Walkman CD player, and I put my little cassette with the cord in it.
Yep.
And you push it in, and then it worked. And oh my God, it was terrible. But, kids would look at that and go, what in the world is that?
Yeah.
Why do you even have that in your car? But anyway, so back to the having the kids and these different parts of life, it is just, you'll go through it. When your daughter's ready to go, you'll be ready for her to go.
Yep.
And it's like, it's a good thing.
It is. Yeah.
She's like, I just don't know. Sometimes she's like, I feel bad, because I want my kids around, but I'm glad they're gone. If that makes any sense. I'm glad they're doing their thing. Yeah. She wants them to come over as much as they can.
Sure.
And she wants to talk to them all the time. And, and I do too. It's fine. But it's like, I guess it's natural progression for parents and everything. But if you would ask me when they were 10, 12 years old, 15 years old, I wasn't ready for them to move. I wasn't ready for them to get out. That was still we got a long time for that. Mm-hmm. No, not really. Within 5 years, they're gone. 15 to 20, they're out. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay. But you get good with it, I guess, and you kind of, you mentally and emotionally, you're ready for that and ready for them. And it's good for them to get out on their own and whatnot. But yeah, man, it's just weird when you think about all the lives you live in your life. And our lives are short. Mm-hmm. Even if you live to be 100 years, it's a long life for, the sake of conversation.
Yeah.
But it's not that long. 100 years isn't that long when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. It's like, wow. What was it? I saw 1970 and 2021 are as close as 1916 and 1970 or something, whatever it was. It was something crazy. And you're like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's the same,
Yeah.
So we're in 1970, they were like, oh, 2022. It was like 1916. They were like, oh, man, 1970 is going to be crazy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Think about it, and it's like the same amount of time.
Yeah.
So
I say that sometimes. It's like, looking back the year, let's say 2000, where we were technologically, like just the grand scape of everything going on, like versus now, it's like how much we've advanced. Just think, between now and 2040, how it's going to be,
in 20 years, 2040, 2042.
Yeah.
20 years from now. The technology that we'll have.
I mean, what's it going to be like?
It's going to be the Jetsons. We're going to be the Jetsons.
Yeah. Well, they say, actually, I heard somewhere that technically George Jetson, I think he was supposed to have been born in 2022.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think it was 2022. This is the year that George Jetson was supposed to be born. Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, dude, watching some of these old movies, like Terminator or, watching, they're like, in the year 2015. And it's just like, oh.
Yeah, well, that movie was made in 80, whatever, 84 or whatever.
Yeah.
So 2015 was
whatever the years were. Or Back to the Future. They go forward to what was it, 2020 or 19?
No. 1999? Or no, what was it?
No.
Because they were in the 60s. Right? But when they go back
when they
to the
go
future.
back, But it took
was
place
1985 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they went back to 1960.
And then he went way forward.
To like whenever on the train, the weird train that flew around, and Back to the Future 3.
The train was from the Old West.
Right, but then it flew, remember? Because went back, they went in forward in the future.
Yeah.
So what was it? Because the Nike shoes that, like, the self-drying clothes and the Nike shoes that strap themselves, which they do have. It's weird.
Back to the future.
So, so you think about it, in the movies and all that, I mean, it's some of the time frames, we're living in those time frames right now.
Right. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Let's see here. 2015.
2015.
Was whenever they went way forward.
Way forward in 2015. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so yeah, I mean that's kind of where we're at. Like I said, all parents are different. Obviously, people parent different than you and I do, or I parent different than everybody.
Yeah,
but it's just crazy. We're in that, and Ashley and I were in that stage of our life now. Like I said, we're transitioning into, in the near future, I would say a couple of years we'll be grandparents, I'm sure. And and our kids will be married off and, and all that. And then it's like, now what do we do? What do you do then?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to do now. So what am I going to do then? You know what I mean? So yeah, anyway, I don't know. You kind of live as I look at what my parents did growing up and how they raised us, and the mistakes they made raising us. Like all parents make mistakes raising your kids. You try to learn from those.
Yeah.
I try to remember certain things that my folks did in situations, and I know our situations are different. With our kids were different than me, than I was, and all that. So it was a little bit different situations, but still kind of the same situation. The same time frames and situations for high school stuff and middle school stuff or whatever. And I kind of looked back on my life and I was like, oh, okay. How could I be better than my folks in this moment? How can I take what I learned from my parents, the right and the wrong thing to do with your kids, and be a better parent?
Yeah.
That's what you try to do, right? I mean, I hope everybody does.
Yeah.
They should if they're not. But you take that and you're like, oh, okay, and then you take your own life lessons that you learn on your own. Because your parents aren't going to teach you everything.
Right.
Some of the things you're going to learn, you're going to have to fall down. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to have to be able to pick yourself back up, brush yourself off, and then go again and learn from the reason why you fell down. Sometimes it took me a few times falling down, and skinning my knees before I was like, dang, I don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah.
This sucks. I don't want to do that. That hurts. So, and then I learned on my own. So then you take that to your kids and go, look, I've done this. Might want to try this. It's going to work better for you, that kind of thing. But I don't know. I think the hardest thing I've ever done as parent, it's the hardest job you'll ever have is being a parent. It's the most gratifying job you'll have. And at the same time, it is the opposite of it, because there's times when you're like, man, I failed, in this situation, I absolutely failed. And you can't come back from that. You can't come back from that fail. You know what I mean? You can just try to be better the next time if that situation arrives or something like it. You learn as a parent to get better. But it's weird, man.
Circle of life,
Circle
man.
of life.
Getting old.
I know. It's a circle of life. I heard, Elton John's coming back to Kansas City.
Is he really?
Last time. They were giving tickets away. I can't remember when it is. I want to say late spring, early summer. I think he's coming to the T-Mobile or whatever it is there.
Yeah.
Whatever the arena is here. He's coming back. This is like farewell tour. This is it. He's done. Yeah. I'd love to see it, man. Elton's so good. And
I wonder if he still is.
I don't know.
Like I heard some.
Here's the thing. I think what is he, 70?
Yeah, he's up there, man. Yeah.
At least, right? 70,
Probably.
75?
I'd say.
He's in his 70s anyway, I think. So you
fact check that for me, will you,
go
Jamie?
ahead. Hey, Jimmy, fact check that. It's like he's been great for so many years. Eventually things happen,
74
years old. So yeah, eventually playing music and your hearing's got to be gone. Sure. Even wearing ear monitors and you know what I mean, the technology we have now to help save your hearing. They didn't have that.
No.
back for the first 25 years of his touring career, he didn't have that, So the last 25 years, he's had, all the latest, greatest stuff and, not killing himself on a nightly basis when he's touring. And the just being able to hear yourself properly singing, especially for a singer, you don't have to sing quite as hard, because you can hear everything perfectly, so you don't have to push to try to hear that kind of thing. So then that takes, doing that night after night on big tours and long tours. Back when those dudes would tour for months at a time, it was 4 nights a week. They were hammering it. And it's like, golly, how did they even talk at the end of the week? And especially back then, you're doing arenas and stuff like that. The monitoring systems were terrible. Most people didn't even have stage monitors,
right?
Or you had a few, and some side fills. You're just listening to the house. So at that point, it's like you're screaming to try to hear yourself. And it's like, oh man. So you do that. That takes a toll on your voice. So you do that for several years. You're done. But anyway, I'm sure it would be good. I'm sure it'd be good just because it's Elton John. And the music would be great.
Sure.
Obviously the music portion of it would be amazing and all that. So
I heard the past couple times that Ronnie Millsap came through Kansas City. Heard it.
Sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. I hate it. I hate it for him. I hate that he and I know he still loves doing it, and that's why he does it. You know what I mean? But I just hate it for him. I wish somebody would tell him it's okay. It's okay not to go tour.
Yeah,
you're good. You're done. You don't need to do it. He doesn't need the money. He's got plenty of money, and I know he loves to do it. So just do it at home.
Yeah,
do Facebook Lives.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, from the house. Be comfortable, and do that. Invite some friends over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would much rather see that happen.
Yeah.
I remember Vern Gosdin right at the end. Oh man, he had because he had strokes and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was sad. It's sad, and that's Ronnie. That's where Ronnie is. It's just in that sad category where the one of the greatest singers of country music and one of the greatest artists in country music.
Yeah. Well, probably even sadder than that, Randy Travis, man.
No.
Isn't that?
I know. I did a show in Texas 2 years ago, and it was for Helping a Hero that I'm a part of, and Randy was there. We gave him a Patriot Award and all that. And just talking with him, because he can sort of talk,
Yeah.
say a few words, and it was just sad.
Yeah.
It was really sad. And I remember standing on stage, and I did like 4 songs, right? And like a little show, and Gavin DeGraw was on with me, and of course Lee Greenwood.
What did he sing?
I can't remember that one song. I can't remember. So Lee's great still.
Yeah.
You realize he's almost 80 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And what a great guy. What a sweetheart of a guy. He's always been nice to me. I don't know. Maybe not to other people. Who knows? I don't care. But he's always been great to me. But anyway, Randy was there in the audience, him and his wife. And I just remember I sang the first song. I sang the first 2 songs. And I looked down and getting ready to sing Ordinary Angels, right? And I look down and I see him. And he's just grinning. He's just happy.
Yeah.
And there was maybe 800-900 people in the little auditorium we're in. And I just remember looking at him, and I'm like, here's a guy. Here's a guy that we all idolized.
Mm-hmm.
We all idolized Randy Travis. Whether it was his singing or his songs or whatever. We all, at one point, we all kind of wanted to be Randy Travis.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so with him sitting there in that shape,
mm-hmm.
knowing, and it was just like, it broke my heart.
Oh yeah.
Oh. And I made them. Here's the other thing. I don't like singing in front of legends and things like that. The people that I looked up to and
Sure.
look up to. I don't like doing it. And I don't know why. because I don't feel like I don't feel like it's like I'm not worthy to do that. And I don't know that makes any sense at all.
It makes perfect sense.
Now it can be 50,000 people that I don't know. And there could be people in there that are great singers and songwriters and musicians and all that. And they could be peers like, Dierks Bentley's and Miranda Lambert's. They were standing there watching me do my show in Canada. I didn't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That didn't bother me. But like the people that I really that influenced me.
Yep.
And that I hold in a different regard than other people.
Yep.
It freaked me out. It freaks me out. And I don't like doing it. And it's like, seeing him there, dude, it really got me. And I'm talking, and I kind of tell a little story about his music and what it did to me, and growing up with that with Randy Travis's music, and then for him to be sitting there watching me perform and listening to me sing, it kind of freaked me out.
Yeah,
and dude, I broke a little bit. You know what I mean? Cried.
You cried?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that dumb?
No,
not you. Yeah. So, but you know what I mean? It got me, man. And I was like, "Ooh, hold it together." You know what I mean? But it was a great thing. And afterwards, I had to go. I had to really my plane left an hour. And when I was done, while I walked off stage, I only had 50 minutes to get to the airport, and it was a 40-minute ride to the airport.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all my stuff was there. My suitcase, everything was at the venue, and the driver was waiting. And I walked off stage and talked to Lee for a second and Gavin, and Randy was there because he was talking to Lee, and Randy's wife. I hugged and I just oh my gosh, I would love to stay here for a month and talk to him. But I can't. I gotta go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Lee and I were on the same flight. So Lee was like, I had to wait on Lee to sing "God Bless the USA."
Okay. So you guys are riding together.
So we were riding together to the airport. And so I stood there and talked while Lee sang "God Bless the USA," and then he walked off. Didn't even change his clothes. You know what I mean? We were just, cowboy hat, the whole bit.
Sure.
Put my guitar in my case. I got my guitar on my back
and
my suitcase, rolling to the airport. And anyway, so it's one of those things that when you see the people you idolize in bad shape, it's like, oh, I don't want to see it that way.
Right.
I don't want to remember them that way. That's for sure. And I had the opportunity to go see Ronnie Millsap at the Hall of Fame. And I remember Colt Prather, guitar player, was like, "Don't." He goes, "We were there last night. You don't want to see him like that."
Wow, man.
I'm like, oh, God. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's so sad. That's terrible. I don't want to do it. I had to. So I went into the side and I listened. And we turned around and walked out.
Oh, man.
I mean, it was like, I got 3/4 of a song. And I'm like, I got to go. That's not it. That's not him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's not the Ronnie Millsap that I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to leave. I was like, that's sad. I wanted to cry. I'm like, I'm done. Oh, let's go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was one of those things.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it's bad. And then before that, it was right after that. He was on. No, it was before that. He did the duet album with a bunch of country artists and stuff. And he was on Jimmy Fallon or one of the late shows. And he was with Little Big Town.
Okay. Eeks.
No, you can look it up on.
Yeah, I don't want to.
It's terrible. It's so bad. And in Little Big Town, they're amazing.
Oh yeah,
they are freaking fantastic. And you could see it on their face. Like, this isn't it. Oh, it's sad. Anyway, yeah, makes me sad. But
did you ever watch that show, that CMT Crossroads?
All the time. Used to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ronnie Millsap did one with the Los Lonely Boys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that is a band that were probably still are.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they're
so good.
Yeah.
Vocals were really good.
Yeah. Or they brothers, right?
But
They
three brothers, yeah.
yeah.
Vocals were great.
Yep.
Instruments were spot
kind of
on.
groovy. They had that cool groovy thing.
It was like that, I guess, blues rock type stuff, you know? That first album they came up with, dude, I listened to that album start to finish so many times.
Yeah, absolutely. They're real good.
And that's one of those bands that just dropped off.
Yeah, well,
whatever happened to them?
You know what? Remember back there was several years where an artist would come out and then they'd go away.
Yeah.
And some of them were one hit wonders, obviously, just boom, they were gone. But it was like they were rotating artists. Like, I talked to Marcel. He filmed the video for Sweet Life. He filmed the Sweet Life video. And I don't know if you remember Marcel, country artist. Anyway, and it was like he came out.
If somebody says Marcel, that was the name of the little monkey. On Friends.
Yeah, so he married Jessica Andrews.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't do bad for himself.
Yeah, no, and she's awesome. She was super sweet. She came out to the video shoot and stuff, and she was cool. But no, he was telling me when he had his deal, they put 3 artists together, one band, 3 artists, and they would send them out on tour. You know, the label would. And it was like basically figuring out which one's going to work.
Yeah. Well.
And, you know, he was only out for a short time and kind of went away. But, yeah, there was like artist after artist after artist after artist after artist after artist, and it was just like one after the other, and you couldn't even like really get into an artist because you're like, oh, that's really, where'd they go? Oh, that's cool. Nope, they're gone. You know what I mean? And they might have still been playing, but they weren't on any national scale.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They were done with that, and they could have went back home, you know, and played or whatever. But yeah, it was crazy back then. There was probably a decade where that was going on. It was just artist after artist after artist, you know. And there were some good ones that went away, like Los Lonely Boys. Los Lonely Boys. Yeah, Habibidi. Yeah, you know, there was a lot of good ones that that kind of went away. Now there were some that were like, oh, okay, we understand.
Yeah.
But
remember the Gorillas?
The Gorillas.
Yeah. Remember this?
No.
You don't remember this?
No, I don't remember that at all.
It was the music video. It's completely animated, and I don't know why. Just that whole song was so catchy. It's like an earworm. You just get it in your head, and you couldn't get it out.
I don't know.
That time period was so good for music videos.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. The Gorillas.
Gorillas. I don't even know what the guys in the band look like because any videos I saw, it was all animated, completely animated videos.
Well, it didn't sound like real music. Like it sounded like like garage band kind of. You know what I mean? Like the drum tracks,
just loops,
like loops. It was like a loop.
It may have been.
Yeah,
I
don't know, but I don't know. There's so many there's so many artists that. You know, we don't want to get old. We don't want them to get old.
Yeah.
And I Millsap, obviously, Randy Travis, that, you know, they're both had some health issues, but you know, then the Vern Gosdins had health issues, I can't even talk health issues, but just seeing some of those artists that, you know, and the rock world too, you know, the rock world now, it's weird because you think about Queen, obviously Freddie Mercury's dead.
Yeah.
But they're still playing, and Adam Lambert is their frontman now. He does a great job.
Sure.
He can sing his face off.
Oh, yeah.
It's not
Freddie Mercury.
But it's still really good.
But he's got a very strong...
Yeah, no, he has a strong voice. And it's nothing like Freddie Mercury. It's completely different. Paul Rogers went out with Queen. It went from Queen to Queen.
Yeah.
Like it had a big old pair. You know what I'm saying? Like when Paul Rogers was singing that stuff, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, that's badass right there. And yeah, it was kind of different. Like,
Freddie Mercury's angry brother.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what I mean? We see more and more you see Foreigner. I don't even know if any original members are in the band. I think it's a cover band.
Yeah.
But because is it Mick, the guitar player? God, I can't remember. Anyway, the guitar player is like he started the band, right? It was his band.
Yeah.
And you know, the members come and go, and obviously Kelly took over lead singing years ago. And then, you know, so he's been there probably the longest, but now I don't even think there's an original member in that band.
Dude, it's like Leonard Skinner's got one guy. Gary Rosington's the only original guy left.
Yeah. And I mean, but you have Jimmy Van Zant singing, or Ryan. Johnny, not Jimmy. Yeah, Johnny. Jimmy's in 38 Special, right?
Donnie.
There's 5,000.
Ronnie, Donnie, and Johnny.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway,
how stupid is that?
Yeah, Ronnie, Donnie, and Johnny. So anyway, yeah. Now, at least it's a family member, and he sounds enough like, you know, and he makes it work. You know, it works. But again, he's been with them forever. Mm-hmm. You know,
yeah.
I mean,
since when they came back in the 80s, I think.
Yeah. So so it's like, okay, he's kind of a real member. You know, he's kind of like an original member, sort of.
Yeah.
But it's weird. Like Foreigner, they're basically a cover band. You know, and there's a lot of bands out there that maybe have one original member. You know, and then it's the rest of it's just pickup guys. Mm-hmm. You know, Journey was like that for a while. You know, it was like Jonathan Cain and Neil Schon was the only two original guys. And Jonathan was in like second phase of original guy, you know? And then they had, you know, a bunch of different singers and drummers and bass players. And then
Randy Jackson was in it for a while.
Absolutely. He always talked about that was one of his favorite gigs.
Well, yeah.
Because, I mean, the musicianship that those guys have is ridiculous. Yeah. And Randy's amazing. Sure. He's an amazing musician. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he loved it. He was like, his time at Journey was amazing. Anyway, but it's like, then they went back to the core four without Steve Perry. And Steve Perry's the only one that's not there. Well, now I think Dean Castronova playing drums again with them. I don't think Steve Smith's with them anymore.
No, he's not.
Yeah, so I think it's the three and then Dean playing drums and singing a little bit and then little guy up front, Arnell. But anyway, and I think Greg Rollins, right?
Greg
Raleigh. There's so many Rollins, Greg, Lou, you know what I mean? Anyway, so Lou Rollins.
Who's Lou Rollins?
I don't know. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It's like, golly, there's so many names. Anyway, it's like, you know, they have some now original people in there besides the drummer. Mm-hmm. And Steve, but I don't know. It's kind of weird how that works, and I mean, I guess those guys just want to keep touring under that name, you know. And I heard something about Whitesnake. They're going out without David Coverdale. Mm. They got a new guy singing, and apparently he is David Coverdale. But better.
Isn't that the one that you sent me a video of?
It might be that guy, because that dude is David Coverdale. I mean, he sounds just really like him. Good. Oh, my God. It was good. So it might be that guy singing for him, which would be great. It would be great. So you wouldn't miss a thing. But, well, man, look, it is time for, you know what? It is time for us to call.
Who are we going to call?
Ghostbusters.
Should call...
You know what? We're going to call my wife.
Oh, yeah.
Let's call my wife. Just see, she's probably not going to
say, hey, can you bring us up some waters?
Yeah, watch this. She's probably...
Oh, hang on. You
got to get it ready.
I do. Okay.
All right, you ready?
Hello?
Surprise! You're on a podcast.
Hey!
What are you doing?
Nothing. I just wanted to call you. We need some waters up here. And, no, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing. So you're on my podcast right now. So I called you. This is my wife, Ashley. So if for the ones who are listening, some quick questions. Not going to keep you long because I'm sure you're busy doing nothing, watching TV. Or did I hear Asher down there a minute ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there he is. All right, good. I thought I heard him. Okay, so some questions here. What do you think it is about me that really attracted you to me so many years ago? What was it? I mean, obviously the good looks and all that was that's probably part of it, but we don't have to talk about that.
It was those starch jeans.
Yeah, it was the Star Stranglers, wasn't it? Was that it? Star Stranglers?
No, I didn't like the Star Stranglers with your tennis shoes or whatever you had on with your football jersey.
So good.
Well, I know. So this will be our 25th year of being married. This year, 2022 will be 25 years of our wedded bliss. Now listen, if you would, okay, when you think back and you're like, man, 25 years, it seems like yesterday.
Nope.
No. No. What are you talking about?
Kidding.
No.
No. It does some days, but some days it doesn't.
What are you trying to say? That's terrible.
Well, I'm just saying that we've been together a long time. So, like, my life without you, I don't remember. That's just.
I know. I'm saying
It's not a bad thing.
Well, dude, you don't go good. I'm just gonna tell you, you don't.
Okay.
You just don't go good. All right. So, if you could change one part of me, if you could go in and say, listen, you got to take this off or you got to change this, what would that part be?
Are you talking like physical or like just like a personality trait, or what are you talking about?
Well, I hope it's not physical. You don't want to remove anything of mine. No, listen. I mean, like, what would you change? Like, if you say, okay, listen, I'm going to recreate my husband, and he's not going to have this. What would it be?
Well, I can't do that because, there's things that make me crazy, but there are things that make you. So I wouldn't want to change that about you.
Yeah, okay.
I'll say no pressure on that answer.
Yeah, I know. I'm putting her, listen, this is good stuff.
She's in the hot seat.
You're in the hot seat right now. All right. You know what? Like I said, I know people are going to ask, and people have asked you, what's it like? Does he sing to you all the time? And blah, blah, blah.
No, you do not. No. Oh. The way you sing at home is like, would you please stop? Because it's not how you normally sing. Like,
see,
that's awesome.
She wants to cut things off my body. She hates the way I sing. This is amazing.
Stop.
Man, this is working out great.
No. When you're just singing, actually singing, I love it.
Yeah.
But you don't just actually sing around the house. You do more like screaming, rocking out.
Oh, yeah.
You're singing in the shower is like not pretty. It's just insane, and so it's, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's where I get, I think everybody's a good sing. Do you sing in the shower, don't you?
No, I don't ever sing.
All right. Well, I'll let you go. Only you have to answer these three questions because I make everybody answer these three questions. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. It's FMK. Here we go. Ready? Oh, I didn't get anything out of that.
No.
I thought I'd get one out of that one.
No.
All right. All right. What is your favorite food? Like if you had to eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would that be?
Oh, Mexican.
Mexican. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I knew that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Wanted you to answer. Your favorite movie?
Oh, I'm not a big movie person.
I know, but you have one. I know you do.
Steel Magnolias.
I love that one, by the way.
Yeah. I know one that we have to watch every time it's on. Well, there's two every time it's
okay.
on.
Well, I'll tell you, and I'll either agree or disagree.
Dirty Dancing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody loves that movie.
And Grease.
Yeah, only the original, because the other ones aren't very good.
I know. I'm just saying those are the two that for sure we have to watch when they're on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Last one. Favorite ice cream, and I already know it.
Oh, that's kind of tough, honey, because I like a couple, but obviously, Dairy Queen Blizzard. That's
honey, that's not
Butterfinger. I love that.
Okay.
That is ice cream.
It's not a flavor, honey.
Oh, flavor is chocolate.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You're like, well, I like blizzards.
You gotta specify.
I did. I said, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? And you were like, I like blizzards. I like the blizzard. I like banana splits. Really like those too. I like the little peanut butter parfaits. All right. Anyway. All right. Well, thanks for playing.
All right.
What are you making me to drink? I'm thirsty.
Nothing. You're being hateful. Love you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. All right. Well, that was my wife, Ashley. I call her Ashhole most of the time.
Yeah, let's give it up for Ashley.
Good job. She's gonna punch me in my face. I know that.
She'll be nice until I leave.
Yeah, and she was like, "What are you doing having me on? Why'd you call me?" Yeah. Anyway, well, I know it's just kind of a mixed bag of things, but it was a pretty good conversation.
Yeah,
conversations, man.
Yep.
You know what? I believe, and I don't want to say it because I want to jinx it or something. Are you that way? If something's good, like you got something good going, and you're like, man, I want to tell somebody because it's good, and then you say it, and then it doesn't happen.
Like, I believe this was probably the best podcast that's ever been recorded. Today, right? I mean, at least in the last 15 minutes, probably the best. No, I mean, like if you have something good, you're like, hey man, I got a great gig coming up, or I got this going on, and you want to say, but you're like, if I say it, it'll probably not happen. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm that way. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's superstition, but I'm kind of that way.
So if we say this is the worst podcast we've ever done, then it's all going to be good.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying like, because I have some things going, we're going to get out and play. We got shows coming in.
Yeah, man.
Like, I'm excited about that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to say a lot of things, but then I'm like, if I don't want to say too much, because then.
Right.
It's not going to happen. You know
exactly.
What I mean? I thought you said you had some shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So it's like, man. Anyway, so this was fun. Conversations. But all right. Well, that's all the time we have. We're done talking. We're done conversating on this episode of the Sweet Life Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to our channels.
Smash it.
Smash. And share it. Even if you don't like it, just share it with people. Share it with people you don't like if you don't like it.
Yeah. Just spam the crap out of them with our links to our podcast.
That'd be amazing. Please do. Make sure you leave us a review, 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, and all that. So, all right. I believe that's all the time we have for you today.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, it was a good one. We'll talk to you next time. See ya.
Ain't this a sweet life?
Hey, guys. Thanks for listening. Want to ask a question for a future episode? Well, hit us up on Facebook or Twitter with hashtag Sweet Life Podcast. And be sure to give us a 5-star rating and hit that subscribe button. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to stay up to date on the latest news and information for the Sweet Life Podcast. And we'll see you next time.